Three women, wives, mothers, and entrepreneurs with mouths and minds so dirty they don't want the parents in the carpool line to know their real identities. This is Kinks Out. Our names may be made up, but the stories are real. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Kinks Out podcast. How are you guys?
Hanging in there. How about you?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm excited. Frenchie, how are you?
Yeah, Frenchie.
Craving mashed potatoes, but I'm good.
That will make sense in a little bit, guys.
We promise.
Today,
And so will her name.
Yes, her name and her mashed potato craving is all going to really make sense here soon. On today's episode, we are going to break down the ins and outs of the smutty verse lingo because there's a lot of it and it's fun. We're going to talk about some abbreviations, the tropes, genres.
Yes.
Before we do that, though, I do have a shout out to one of our lovely book club members. I'm going to call her Cox. In episode 1, I mentioned that I left our Christmas party as one of the only people who didn't get some sort of sex toy, which was fine. I was okay with it. But Sweet Cox showed up to our last meeting with a gift for me. And as soon as she set the bag down, you guys, I knew what it was. Because I had said, I was like, I can't believe
you called her Sweet Cox.
I did, Sweet Cox.
Oh my goodness.
And we had, whenever we were all buying our Christmas gifts, someone was like, are we getting butt plugs or bookmarks? So after the Christmas party, no one had gotten a butt plug. And I was really bummed about it. And then there were some bookmarks, but they were great. And Cox showed up. Cockmarks. Cox showed up at our meeting with a neon colored butt plug for me. And it's not just like your average butt plug, I don't think. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to. And I will tell everybody about something about it. I'll let everybody know how it goes whenever
if you like it, we can link it.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Cox for the link.
If we get sponsored by butt plugs, I will be.
But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, Cox, for my butt plug. It was very thoughtful. And my husband wasn't quite sure how to respond to it, but he is here for it. So thank you. All right, let's get into it. Gigi, what do you have to say?
All right. I spent time compiling all of the little, MM, FM, FMC, HEA. Like, I've got a list, and we know Frenchie is going to have no clue what a majority of these are. Which
is why we love her.
Yes, exactly. So it's almost like I want to do a little quiz. Like, we talked about this last week. So HEA, you know that one, right?
Happily ever after. We talked about this. Yes.
Exactly.
I would not have known until last episode. But now I do. Hey, we're good.
See, people are learning things on our podcast.
Yes.
This is an educational podcast.
Educational. Well,
extra credit.
What you want to be educated about. All right, the next one, DNF.
What do you think, Frenchie?
It isn't DTF. We're not down to fuck.
We are though.
So not down to fuck. DNF.
Yes. What do you think that means?
Oh my gosh. All I can think for D is dogs, and I know that's not right.
It's not. DNF means did not finish. We started a book, we DNF'd it. That's all. That one's not even dirty.
Okay. So when I read did not finish before, I guess I did know this. I just thought it meant that the guy didn't finish or the girl didn't finish the book.
Oh, I mean,
I guess it could mean that too. That's not how we read it though. We read DNF as like, hey, we didn't finish this. it wasn't hot enough for us. The
Yeah,
story
I've
sucked.
never read that throughout the story, them saying I
No, me
DNF. Because I
either.
mean, if I'm reading stories where they don't finish them, then that's gonna definitely be a DNF because I'm not
In
gonna
a
read it.
literal and physical sense of the word, we did not finish.
Yeah,
And it
pass.
and my entire book list is DNF.
Oh my
Or
God.
every book that's been assigned for book club is DNF for me.
And not because they're not good books. Don't give people the wrong
That's
impression here.
yes,
It's just
that's not it.
because you I don't know. I don't know why you don't finish them actually.
You told me you don't like people telling you what to do, but you started a book club.
You started a book club. So a lot of these ones aren't
Yeah.
going to be like, these are just,
They're not dirty.
they're not dirty.
Oh, they're not dirty.
No, it's just like how we would describe the book, sort of.
Okay, we won't make you guess all of them. So like FMC is female main character.
We could be here for a while if we did it that
I
way.
would have never guessed that.
Yeah,
And
the
then
FMC.
MMC is main male character.
Got it.
And then when you get into MM, that's describing like a male. That would be, oh, that book has
Scenario, like a
two males, like MM, and then FM is female male. You know, depending on how many people you got going on, we get into the MFMM, male, female, male, which is how I enjoy a book.
I'm
that's
taking
the
notes.
harem style.
I
Well,
love it. I love a harem.
we know you do. Some of those too, like it depends on where they're situated. So MFMM, I believe is so there's there's male and female interaction, but then that doesn't always guarantee sword crossing. Like some of them in the harem, like the dudes never also hook up.
Right.
So it could just be like one female with like multiple dudes, but
Just
some
straight
of them,
loving
the
on
way that
her. We lost
my
her.
gosh. This is so deep. My notes are all over the place. Okay,
We lost her.
got it.
like when
You
we
cannot
in
see
the
it,
last
but my
one.
mouth is just gaping.
Because little do the
So are
people
theirs.
know,
Yes.
that we can't look at each other while we're recording this because we can't keep straight faces. So we have
It's
to turn our
true.
cameras off.
So that's the lingo. Let's start on some genres of smut.
Yeah,
Can I do cowboy?
absolutely.
Okay. I love a cowboy genre. I don't read them all the time because they get like, how many horses can somebody ride? But when I do love them, when I do read them, I go all in. One of my favorite cowboy books is called Sarah's Cowboys by Kira Jane. And it is a reverse harem, why choose taboo. Which taboo means it's like not approved of sometimes in society, but also like it's fine. It looks very innocent by the cover, but there are 7 men and one
Excuse
woman.
me, 7?
7.
Did you say in one horse?
No,
my God.
Lord.
Thank God. I was like, that's a whole different category. Okay, good. Okay,
no,
I misheard.
one woman. And
Okay.
the thing
Is there sword crossing?
you know what? It was one of the first ones I read, but no, there isn't because all of the men are related. Like
So that's probably part of the taboo situation.
the taboo is that yes, like they're all like brothers, cousins situation, and there's an uncle involved.
Oh, snap.
And it was like one of the
Dude,
first ones I read like this, and I was like, damn, like girlfriend went for it.
does this stuff
So,
happen in real life?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess in a farm community, there's not much to do.
Yeah, if
you
they're
got-
like all
you
on
sh-
a ranch in the middle of nowhere, do you think
That's
they're all
pretty
just
much.
shacking up?
She's a traveler, and she like travels to their ranch to like stay in their guest house. I don't know. The plot line isn't super
Like,
thick.
what kind of traveler? Like, what does that even mean?
She's just backpacking. I don't know. And I think she's Australian. But it is actually
I know
like
what I'm doing in my next life. Traveling with
What's your
backpack
occupation? I'm just a
to the
traveler.
rural.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So anyway, I would recommend Sarah's Cowboys if you are looking to jump in like legit head first into stuff. It's a good one. But anyway,
That's intense.
so Frenchie recently read a book that we're going to talk about, and since then she has not been the same, and neither has her Goodreads. And
I
I will
mean,
say that the book that she read,
Oh,
Gigi and I were hard DNFers for it, which for us to
we
not
got
finish a book is shocking. We can push through the worst of the worst.
anything.
Anything. We're like, oh, I don't care. This is fine. There's doors, whatever. But the book Frenchie read, we both read 2 chapters and we're out. And Frenchie read it in like a morning over coffee. But we're
All
gonna
of a
get to it.
sudden, we told her, we're like, okay, we only read to chapter 2. She's like, fine, I'll do that. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, I'm on chapter 8. Guess what happened?
That's pretty
I
much how
could
it was.
not stop. I could
And
not
what's even
stop.
funnier is we're like, no, we'll get to
We
it. We got to
can't
keep
we
going.
can't
I
stop
know.
talking about it.
We'll
Look at
get
us.
Because
This
we'll
is
get
why we
back
put
to
it
it.
at the end of the episode.
and I know it's supposed to be at the end, and we just our whole
We
lives revolve
can't.
around the fact that you read this book right now. Um,
Oh Lord. All right.
so
Yeah, sports.
sports.
This one is
It's sports. I love
good.
a sports book, and it's hard to pick just one. I mean, I have my all-time favorites that we're going to discuss in the next episode. Gigi, we picked the same sports book without even knowing it to talk about
Yeah, we
with
did.
this
Yeah, we did.
genre because we love us some Halsey Holmes from
Oh
He's
man.
Not My Type.
Megan Quinn writes like the best smutty / funny romance books, in my
Yes.
opinion, because you just laugh out loud.
You really do.
And
They are laugh out loud funny. It's what's the actual like they're all on the same hockey team? It's a hockey one.
yeah, hockey. The agitators, right? So I can't
Yes.
remember because there's like it's a series, but you can read them as standalone if you want.
I've read most of them. Like this one is my favorite though because Halsey and Blakely are just they're incredible. They're so
Yeah.
funny. It's sort of Grumpy Sunshine.
There's like, we don't want to give it all away, but like there was a tragedy. So he's like, the quiet, grumpy type. He's got a dirty mouth, and I was here for that. And the forced proximity situation of the two of them.
Yes.
So those are also, some of the tropes.
The tropes that
we'll
we'll go over. But
Dude,
yeah,
Halsey
for sports
Holmes.
one, Megan Quinn can do no wrong with that.
And a lot of the books that I read, I do audio of this book
That's what you said.
is everything.
All right.
No.
So next is, of course, not everyone's favorite, but one of my favorites is the Mafia Bratva books, and there are so many of those. I actually didn't even pick one because
Neither
if
did
you
I.
just like click, Mafia Bratva, 1,000 books are going to come out, and they're all going to be good for the most
And there's
part.
a lot that are series too. There's a lot, and those ones I feel like are a little bit darker as well.
They are darker because a lot of the times it's like, he kills somebody, but it's fine because then he fucked her hard. Like, it's okay.
Wait. No, not the same person he killed, right? After.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. I was like, I'm going to sign off right here.
Sorry. Whoops. No, I just mean like in the Mafia ones, it's always like, he looked at you wrong, so I killed him because I love you so
yes.
much. Or it's like, I never thought I would be turned on by the blood covering everything, but now they're doing it next to a dead body. That's how a lot. But I'm not wrong. That's like the female, the FMCs in these books are like, oh, I was promised to him through marriage and I hate him. I'm in his bedroom now and he's, I'm his wife and I hate him. But his dick is huge.
That brings in that whole trope. That brings in the micro trope, like my wife vibes. Like
Yes.
people live for that shit.
I do love that.
Explain this.
Whenever like the male main character, he'll be like, "That's my wife," like, and the girl swoons. She's like, "Oh my, yes, oh, loving it." And it is usually the Mafia guys who, not always, I guess, but in Mafia ones, they always are more like, "That's my wife." A lot of good ones out there of that. Billionaires. Who doesn't love a rich dude?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the billionaire series are like some of them are like into the BDSM stuff.
Oh yeah, because they all like
Yes,
belong to sex
bring
clubs
it.
usually. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
This is what I
billionaires are
want to
like,
hear about.
let's go to the club. And you're like, cool. And then you walk in and there's like people chained to walls.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You will that's a
buying
lot of the
billionaire
billionaire ones.
books.
Yeah,
Well, I'll send you
that's
some
what
good
you're
billionaire
putting.
ones.
Yeah, you should read the Salacious Players
I was
Club,
just
which
gonna say that. Have the Salacious Players Club is a sex club. And that's like it's a whole series and it's really good. But the highest bidder is one of my favorites because of like the age gap.
oh
He
yeah, that's that
actually
the older dude one
he
you
is.
read.
He's real the cover is chef's kiss. Um but actually the main character dated the girl's mom at one point too. So it's like
Oh.
slightly taboo that like way back in the day he like dated her mom. And she found him and like knew this and he didn't know for a while, but it's an HEA though. But it's
Yeah.
good and it's hot. I loved that book.
Praise is the
No, it seems
first
like
one.
okay
Praise is
in
the
that
name of a
series.
book, but yes, Praise is
But
that's in every
that's
book. I
the
mean,
one that's the one where well that's it because he's a dom and so he wanted a sub and this is an age gap one and it's his son's ex-girlfriend.
oh yeah,
Yeah, and like he owns the sex club and stuff and then she ends up becoming like his assistant or whatever, but then she also ends up becoming his subby. So like
and yeah, but the Praise kink is huge in like almost all the books.
oh yeah.
If I don't read Good Girl in a book, I'm like annoyed because
Yeah.
the Praise
Ugh.
kink is, such a good. I know you hate that. You hate Good Girl, Frenchie, which is so
You want to
funny.
be like good boy.
Yes, that's what Frenchie wants. She
No, I'm
wants
gonna be like, you're a fucking dirty ass boy.
you have to read Madam then. You need to
Yeah.
read
Yeah,
Madam
you
by
do.
Sarah Kate. It's again part of the Salacious Players Club, but
That's the
she
last
is
one
the
in this
Dom.
series.
You need to read that one. If you're into
This is
like
what I
the
want.
female Dom, I sent it to you. Damn it. Come on.
Don't tell her
I
what to
was
do.
preoccupied. I was preoccupied
You're
yesterday.
right.
Yes.
So that's
Okay. I'm
billionaires.
getting it.
I
I'm
I
looking.
keep
think
I'm
trying to
oh,
assign her
I like the
homework and it's
cover.
not working.
see, there you go. She's like holding the flogger or something.
I had to send you a picture of a flogger too, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Nobody can see our text thread or our Google search
Oh my
history.
God.
We
When
need
I
to.
die, delete my text thread, delete my Google history, burn my Kindle.
I said, what a way to go. Actually, just read mine as my eulogy.
That's right. You
People will
did.
be like, what?
What the fuck is a cock cage?
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
god.
And
Unhinged.
sometimes when we have to Google things, I'll be like, well, I'll do it if you'll do it.
Right? Like we're like
I
our
won't
emotional
Google
support
alone.
Googlers. We did. We both had to Google cock cage from Distorted, that book we read.
I have
But
actually that on my list as one of the when
well,
we
tell
talk
us
about
about it
tropes.
then. Go ahead.
Okay, well, so Distorted by Nyla K. She's very taboo. But it's like you can't say much about Distorted because you can't give anything away. There's
Right.
suspense, there's mystery. It takes place in a penitentiary. You really like can't say much. It's forced proximity. Just read it. I feel
Read it
like
and Google cock cage because we
yeah,
had to.
that's
And we won't
yeah.
judge you for it. His
Oh
cock gets locked up. But you have to read about it because yeah, it was both like the image I had in my head was so ridiculous that if I was
Oh,
like an
same.
artist, I would draw it and post it but I'm not. Because that like it just almost I don't even want to get into it. It was not right. And then when I Googled it, it made a little bit more sense. It seemed more
I was
reasonable once I Googled it.
yeah, I was picturing like the rat trap game, just like that cage
Oh my
over top, which is not what it is now that I've looked it up. But that was my picture in my head.
Oh, that's funny.
Mousetrap, mousetrap game.
Rat
Mousetrap. That's yep.
trap.
Well, but if you need something to do today, folks, go ahead and Google that.
Go ahead and Google cock cage. All right. So next is the Omegaverse, and I love the Omegaverse. It's Frenchie, you've never read an Omegaverse, right?
Of course
No,
she
I
hasn't, because that's what we assigned for
I was
book
just gonna say
club.
that that is the assignment for book club this month is the Omegaverse. And I remember the first time I tried explaining it to you, you were like, "Are they dogs?" No, the Omegaverse is not dogs. It's just a different hierarchy. There's like the alpha, the beta, um, and the omega. And it's just how they fall in line. The alpha's the best. Everybody wants the omega. The beta's kind of neutral. I know, Gigi, you said you wanted to talk about The Scent of Us, which we both read and loved, but I'm going to let you talk about it.
Eliana Lee, I think. And yeah, it's Omegaverse. Like they have scent matches. The Scent of Us isn't your typical Omegaverse book
No, it's
because it
not
was
the one
like,
to start with.
yeah, it was like that bond dissolution where they had bonds, but they weren't necessarily like some of them were like forced into it. So they couldn't find their like mate that they actually like would still want to choose.
It was so the bonds that they
Like an
are is
arranged.
yes, almost like an arranged situation. But whenever, so in the Omega verse, whenever you meet your match, you bond with each other during sex. And you bite each other. Again, still not dogs, still humans. But the
oh
bond,
my
the
gosh.
biting is how the bond like takes place. It was that some of these females were unfortunately like forced into bonding. And it's very spicy whenever she goes into
Yeah.
heat.
They wear collars. That's all I can
No,
picture.
they don't. I already
No,
told
yeah,
you
no.
this.
They're not animals.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm just picturing like what half wolf, half person with a
I
collar,
mean,
maybe like a
We
wolf
have
head, regular
I think
body.
I
there's
think you just
shifter
read that book.
romances.
We do love a shifter romance, some of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna picture this the
Rockstar is
way
the
I want
next
to
one.
picture it. Oh, rock stars
I
on my
love that
Instagram.
about you.
Wait. Yeah, wait. Explain that. What are you picturing? And explain it to us. Paint a picture for us, French.
For the Omegaverse, I mean,
Yeah,
this is
yes.
this
Anything.
is this is terrible. Like all I'm picturing is like the Paw Patrol Super Pups for some reason.
Oh my god.
And I can't get it out of my head. So I don't know if I could ever read that because I do not
Well,
They're
find Chase
not dogs.
sexy at
now
all.
that you just ruined it for me, you've ruined Paw Patrol. I cannot play it for my children, and now I cannot read Omegaverse ever again. This
Oh my
pup's
god.
gotta fly.
The next time you have sex, please sing the Paw Patrol theme song.
Oh my gosh.
Chase is on the case.
Oh, stop.
Exactly.
Oh my god, the
See?
moms in us are coming out real hard right now. People without kids are going to be like, "What the fuck is wrong with these women? Why are they talking about a children's show on their dirty fucking podcast?"
Lots is wrong with us. I think we established that on episode 1.
No,
No.
we still have a lot to get through, guys.
Oh my god, okay.
Just so
The
you know,
next one, Rockstar, which I know is Frenchie's favorite. Rockstar,
It
baby.
is
Tell
my
me
favorite.
about it.
I mean, because I imagine that it's me going backstage. When I
yes.
was younger, I was a I mean, I like was a promoter and so I would get backstage at concerts, but like I would get backstage at like the Misfits concert, which
Ooh,
was not
girl.
no, but that's not like they're in full face paint. Like we're not talking a sexy rocker. So I think that I mean, I still like the whole idea of getting backstage and having that one night rendezvous with a sexy rocker, but that's the thing. These books, they fall in love. You're on tour just one night and then go on to the next.
Yeah.
You don't want them to like fall in love and have a happily ever after. You just want her to go backstage, get fucked, and bounce.
Yeah, maybe she'll go to the next city and do it again, but that's we don't we don't have to like fly on his private jet. We can take the train, get there, have it
No,
happen
if
again.
I'm in, I'm going all in. I want the private jet for
Yeah.
the rest of my life is what I want.
The only other genre, that fantasy, and then
Oh,
there's like the
Alien.
alien and paranormal. Yeah, and all of those things can be romantic.
I read Ice Planet Barbarians, and there's like 28 of this
There's
book or
so
something
many. By
crazy. And
Ruby, yeah, by Ruby Dixon.
I only read the first, I think 2 maybe.
I think I read like 6.
You read more of them than me, and they're about aliens, and they're blue, and they
Yes,
have
they
like,
were.
and their cocks are all different. They have like
Oh my
ridges
gosh.
and bumps and all this stuff. Um, but to really dive into a paranormal book, Frenchie, tell us about the book you just read,
Me?
please.
Did you forget your name this week?
I did.
Wait,
um,
hold on, guys. We want to talk about the other tropes real quick, just so everybody knows that when we say a book, like we're like, oh, it's enemies to lovers, friends to lovers. You kind of get it.
Forced proximity, the BDSM stuff, or like specific kinks, the forbidden and taboo kind of things like step siblings or ex-boyfriend's dad, student
Which I love.
teacher.
I love
Yeah,
ex-boyfriends' dads.
I'm a
oh, I
step
thought you were
like
gonna
I
say
never
step siblings. What?
Oh,
you did
I'm
say
reading.
step siblings. Yeah, that's like
I do love a
yeah,
step
I
sibling
love a
one.
good step sibling romance.
I had.
Student teacher, age gap, fake dating, marriage of convenience. Your wholesome kind of like second chance romance,
I don't
grumpy
like those.
sunshine. Second chance, me neither.
Nope, I don't like a second
I
chance.
do.
One and
Surprise! I do.
Whatever we like, Mars, Frenchie will not like. And whatever Frenchie
it's
likes,
true.
we will not.
I like to stand
So
out.
It's fine.
you do. There's the reverse
There's
age gap.
That's one of my favorites.
And I don't usually love a reverse age
Yeah.
gap, which for us to not like, and that's whenever like the female is older than the male.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
not dissect what it means about me that I
No.
don't like that. Let's
Let's
Oh,
not.
see, I love that.
Yeah, me too. That's my
um,
jam. Accidental pregnancy, the why choose. A lot of the times the why choose is like within the reverse harem kind of
and
situation.
those are my favorites.
Yeah.
I have read
That's
so many like that and I love them. I've read dark ones, I've read happy ones. It's almost like I read so many of them that like when I read a book where it's just two people, I'm like, this is fucking lame.
You're like, this is so boring. Where's
I'm like, there's only one dick.
MMM?
There's only one dick in this book. This is bullshit. But
Why do I imagine that both of you have like a section of your house with like, like a map on the wall where you're connecting things with string so that you know who goes with who? Because I can't keep that straight.
I do have one of
Like,
those. It's in my closet.
Listen, I'll keep us on track for
Go
this
ahead.
episode.
Yes,
Then
thank you.
have
I'm
the-
sorry, guys.
You're fine. Then we have the micro tropes, which is like specific events or interactions that happen in a book, which we already talked about the my wife sitch, but like good girl, that's
Love
one
it.
of my faves. Crawl to me. Ooh.
I don't love that.
Oh, I like that one.
I don't. Whenever he's like, crawl to me. I don't know. I always picture it very cat like. So, on your knees, though, is when he's like, on your knees now, take it out. That's okay. I'm on board with that.
Innocent backwards baseball cap.
Love it.
Touch her
What?
and die vibe. Who did
Oh.
this to you? One bed, eyes on me. I like that one.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
wait,
And then
wait, what?
backwards
back
baseball
up on
cap?
that.
Yeah, just when a guy wears
Backwards
a
baseball.
backwards baseball cap.
That's like that's a micro trope.
I just
What?
read one that the guy wears a backwards baseball cap, and I love it. And I will say that, like, even my own husband, if he turns his hat backwards, I'm like, come on, man. I got a baseball game to get to. I can't do this right now. I love a backwards baseball cap.
We don't have time for the butt plug right now. We've got stuff to do.
We gotta get to Little League.
For real though, that's my life. Is we got to get to fucking youth sports. Turn your hat the right way and get in the car. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm ready to transition into potatoes. So Frenchie read a book that we talked about in the beginning of the episode that GiGi and I DNF'd. We couldn't even handle it. It was too ridiculous. So naturally, Frenchie finished it. She read the whole thing,
In
and
like an
it is
hour
about
and a half.
right? Well, it's a novella, we should start with that. It is a short book.
Yeah, but
Um,
was
Yeah.
like it was just like, "Oh, let's start out our Monday real quick." Like, it was like eight
yeah.
o'clock in the morning when we're texting each other.
Our Monday morning bingo cards were out of control. Like, I didn't have any of the stuff that happened on mine. I was like, drink coffee, do laundry, discuss episode 2. Fucking potatoes. I don't know.
Tell us about potato
Yes.
mill,
So
French.
the name of the book, right, is All I Want for Christmas is a Fingerling.
Yeah.
All right, Frenchie, you're up. Tell us.
I okay, so we're talking about a man who is half, well, I guess it's just a werewolf, right? You're not like half werewolf,
Like,
you're a
he's a
werewolf.
shifter. He's a
He's a
shifter. He's a
shifter.
shifter.
So he
Yeah,
can
so
turn
like
into a wolf.
so I was picturing Jacob from Twilight when I was reading this book with just a little more height and a little more hair is what I was thinking. Um,
Amazing.
but somehow he ends up in a potato field and a baked potato imprints on. This is not Bella. This is a baked potato.
Wait, is it
But
a
this
big
baked
he's a raw potato.
no, he's
Yeah,
okay. I'm sorry.
he's
He's
not
a raw
baked.
potato. He's yes. I'm sorry. I was getting ahead of myself. A raw potato
Oh.
who can also
Oh, shit.
shapeshift into a potato man. A potato man
What's
who
a
I'm
potato man?
picturing looking like the banana from the series Gumball on Nickelodeon. So
Which is
googly eyes on a potato is
amazing. And
what
I pictured him more like Gollum for some reason, like this like little crouched creature who lives in the dirt. So we had two very different images for the
Oh, I thought
potato man.
of like, what is that, Dolby from
Dobby.
Dobby from Harry Potter. That was what I thought of because he
I
was
just
like,
almost
there's a
nerded out real quick because
he
Harry
was like, there's
Potter
a
is my
small
favorite.
man. He's like, there's a small man on the side of the road.
he was always
Um,
covered in dirt. He was just always dirty, as
I
most
think
potatoes are.
the
Yeah.
so Gigi and I read the first 2 chapters, and one line from this book is the wolf shifter guy thinking about the potato, and he says, "How can he smell like my favorite French fries covered in
Oh my
ketchup?"
God. That was
I tried.
pretty
I tried
soon
to do that
after I
without
had to
laughing, and I
stop.
couldn't. Yeah, it was not long after that that I was like, you know what? I'm out. I can't do it.
But did you know that's foreshadowing to later on in the book?
Tell
After they've
us.
already
Oh
had
shoot.
multiple sexual sessions, him turning back into a potato, rolling around on the hairy chest of the werewolf,
In potato
rolling
form.
in potato form. That's
Oh
what he
my
wanted
god.
in potato form, asking the werewolf to just come repeatedly on his potato skin so that he can rub it into his own skin. Um,
Stop.
the
This is
pinnacle of the
amazing.
book, yes, the pinnacle of the book is when the werewolf, who is shifted back into human form, cannot bear the smell of the potato anymore and so wants to eat the potato. And so the potato says that if you cut
What?
off two-thirds of it, that he can regenerate in the dirt bag that he brought him home in. So he will come back to life as a potato again. So he cuts off two-thirds, and luckily the potato, Frenchie's brother Russ, just happened to be in the back. How am I telling this story like it's a real thing? Just happened to be in the bag along with the other potatoes who were not shifters, just regular potatoes. So I don't know why he couldn't have made French fries out of the regular potatoes.
Yeah, because at one point he says like when in the parts we read, they talk about the potatoes that aren't magical, like going to be sold. So there are regular potatoes too. There's only like not all of them are grown magically, I guess.
Not all of them. But
What
Russ,
is
Um,
his
this?
brother, his potato brother, helps him French fry his brother so, so that he can be eaten. And then, but then it gets
I
worse
can't.
because then he eats it, and then he's regenerated and he's come back as, a potato person, and then has to drink the cum of the werewolf
Oh my
so
God.
that
Stop.
they've
This is amazing.
eaten each other. Oh my God. This is gonna
This is
haunt
so
me for the rest of
unhinged.
my life. Like,
I
Like
think
we
the best
said, your
is,
Goodreads. The best part is your Goodreads, man, is fucked for life.
oh yeah, you're screwed. Like you're never going to get a normal book recommendation again. And I just think that what's really funny is that we're always like, "Oh, you should read this book. It has, a couple guys, one woman. We love it. It's so good, so amazing." And you're like, "Okay, so the potato gives birth to wolf pups." I don't know,
yeah.
where do we find a happy medium with you? Like there needs to be some middle ground here.
Do you know that is like the most common question I get in my life from like every situation that I'm in? Where is the medium ground between your two extremes? And
Yeah,
this
between
is
slow
another
burn
case.
and french fries. We gotta figure it out because
I mean,
I I mean, I love it. I love the unhingedness of this, but there has to be we gotta figure it out. We gotta find you a book that you're like, "I really liked it," and there were no potatoes involved.
you also made a point to tell us, I don't want you guys thinking that I have a comfort food kink.
Oh, yeah, the comfort food kink.
You were like, I need to clear the air
Yeah,
here.
yeah, you were like, "At no point during this was I turned on." Like, we didn't think you were, okay? We were under no, like, ruse that you were in your kitchen looking for potatoes after this. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually very disappointed though. Like, you know how when you're reading a book, you're like, this is how I think it's gonna end. And then when it doesn't end that way, you're like, why didn't it end that way? Um, I was certain. I mean, this French fry got pregnant with, carried the pups of the werewolf. And I thought the perfect ending to this book would have been for the pups to have been born and then eat their potato dad. That's how the book would have ended.
Oh my god,
And I am
you are fucked up.
so disappointed that they lived happily ever after. See, I told you I
Do you
don't
want me
like
to
happily
find
ever
you a book
after.
about cannibalism? Just curious.
Only if they're
Well,
potatoes.
it's
Oh.
Oh.
We will leave the information for this book in the comments down below. We'll leave all the information for you guys for that.
sure you
I think
should.
And
I'm not sure you should.
I'm
we'll
gonna no,
do
I'm
it.
gonna
Don't
leave it
worry.
because so we want to thank everyone who listened to episode 1. We're having a lot of fun with this, and we'll keep doing it even if nobody listens because it is the it is the joy of our day here, or mine at least, part of it. It's fun. I'm having a really good time,
Me too.
and if you want to, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Kinks Out Podcast. Follow us. Uh, so our
Yep.
next episode, I think we're going to really try to talk about, we're going to try, I say that, we're going to try to talk about our actual favorite books. All right. Thanks,
See you
guys. We
later,
will,
hoes.
bye,
Bye.
everybody.